Hello and welcome to Mostly Finished Thoughts. My name is Theodor Elfving. I am joined today by one Alanna Matty.
Hello
That was the
and
weirdest
welcome.
intro so far.
It was. Should we just do welcome to Late Night Radio with Theo and Alanna,
Hello,
also
my
known
lovelies.
as Mostly Finished Thoughts.
My
What did
lovelies.
you say? Oh,
Like,
hello, my lovelies, and welcome to Mostly Finished Thoughts.
today we will explore the cosmos together. I had a sudden action change. I don't know. It's hard to stick with a bit. How are you today, friend?
I'm very good.
You are very good. You look super duper relaxed and happy.
Thank you. I do. It's true. It is the first thing Theo said to me when we got on the call today. He's like, "You look happy," and then he apologized.
Well, it's because when you say that someone looks happy, it means if you really go, "Oh, you're happy," or "Aren't you looking well today?" is also that you don't look well other days.
Oh, I've looked like shit. I'm very aware.
It feels like such a dick thing to say, like the first thing in a conversation. "Oh, you look like you're happy today."
I am happy today.
Glad to
It's
finally
true.
see you smile is also one of those things that really make you.
Yeah. Oh, you're so pretty when you smile. Coming for you. I am feeling much better today. Yes, it's been funny.
Sorry.
I know. Every time. I think it might be our most said phrase. It's been
Yeah.
on this podcast, and every time one of us says it, the rest of my brain just goes, "One week since it looked at me.
Yep.
A chicken
Got your
in
head,
China,
said you're
the
angry.
Chinese
Yep.
chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops ticking. Watching X-Files and the lights on. You done Amazon. You think you're looking at Aquaman. Sorry.
Nice. You like the sashimi because you never touched a frying pan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, despite our B&L, you're very happy because you finished the last of your contracts. And
I
are now
did.
Free?
I did. Yeah.
TM?
I am fully 100p
100p.
free. And by which I mean I'm now fully able to focus guilt-free on everything else in my life,
On things that you want to
which
do.
is nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I checked a bunch of things off of to-do lists this morning. I finished off the last little bit. Okay, I feel like I have to explain because I feel like I've said that I'm done with my contracts 27 times.
I think that might be
I was working-
rivaling the it's been quotes. I'm
true.
finally done with the contract.
I'm done. So basically, I was working at a game company full-time that I quit in March. It didn't end until July, but I picked up 2 contracts, one just before I left that company and one just after I left, both also sound design. One for a game called Drag Her, which is a fighting drag queens game, which is amazing and super campy. And so I was excited to do work for that. And that was supposed to be short-ish term, but it ended up becoming longer term. So it was supposed to just be for one thing. But anyways, one thing led to another. And I just ended up staying on and doing more than I thought I would have initially. And so then when I got the Skullgirls contract, I was still working on Drag Her at the same time.
Oh.
So I had multiple things going on, but I wasn't really actively doing anything for Drag Her because I was too occupied with Skullgirls. But it was still something that was occupying my brain. Anyway.
And now you're done with both?
Now I'm done with both. Yeah.
That's incredible.
So, yeah, I finished that off. I was kind of finished a while ago, but then they needed me to fix something for timing, and I knew that was coming. So it was nice to have this morning be like, hey.
So now you
did
have
it.
all your time to devote to yourself and your arts.
Yeah. Yeah,
And your
it's wild.
Indiegogo campaign that you should go fund. If you're listening to
Good
this,
segue.
go to Indiegogo. 76% today, I think.
I think so.
It's incredible.
We're oh my gosh. Okay, I can't open a browser. If I open a browser,
Do you want me to open a
my
browser
whole
so the
computer
doesn't explode?
fucks up.
Explode.
It doesn't matter. I know we're at just under 4,000 raised, and our goal is 5,000, and we have over 2 weeks left. So I think we might hit it.
77% as of today.
Yeah.
As of now.
It is scary though.
The 8th of November today, friends, by the way, if you're keeping score at home.
It'll still be going on Friday. I don't know where we'll be at by Friday. I have 3 streams this week.
Yeah.
Where I can, promote it and talk about it. But it is scary.
But there's also stretch goals after this. So if you want to
Yes.
slap your wallet on the screen. Put your money towards Alanna's Indiegogo.
Smack it. Yeah, it's scary because you do get most of your funding within the first few days. That's just how campaigns generally work because people eventually just stop paying attention to it.
For sure.
So I am there is definitely a big part of me that's am I going to hit the goal? Maybe all of the people that wanted to donate or would be donating have already donated. And so that's a little bit scary.
I'm convinced you'll get the funding.
But thanks, Theo. I think so. I've definitely been on this roller coaster ride of we're definitely going to hit the funding to we're not going to hit the funding to be no,
I can fully understand that.
Be no, I don't think we're going to hit the funding anymore. It's just this up and down.
Well, because it's quite the leap to just go out in public and go, hello, I'm here requesting your money towards this project that I'm working on.
Yeah. And I have to say that my biggest fear was public perception.
Yeah.
/ still is public perception, then that's not anything new to people who've been listening to the podcast or know me at all in any fucking regard. But that was definitely my biggest fear was that, people were going to look down on me for doing it. But what was so amazing was the other, people that I look up to that were part of the reason that I didn't want to do this. People who I've looked at being you're just releasing music.
Yeah.
And you're just doing it all on your own, and seeing them come out in support of this and sharing it and replying that they think it's amazing. It's has just meant so much that these people that I admire are also supporting the way that I'm doing it, even though it's not the way that they did.
The campaign is really well put together as well on the Indiegogo page.
Thanks.
I mean, your whole thing is a nice packet of this is what's going to boil down to and what I'm going to do for the money. It's not, I need vodka and cigarettes to finish my album.
No, it's just...
I need a few more days in a hotel room to finish up the creative work, quote unquote.
Yeah. And all of the recordings already paid for. And so, it's in part paying myself back for stuff like the mastering that, I've already paid for.
Yes.
But then also the PR
shoot.
and marketing is the biggest stuff. The photo shoot is huge.
What a great photographer, by the way.
Thank you. You want to talk about looking real tired and sad, though?
Are you talking about the photographer or the object?
Oh, me. No, absolutely me.
You're giving him slight. He showed up looking. No, he was.
No. It is one of those moments. I've had these moments over the last week as I'm slowly regaining my consciousness. And I'm so curious to know if you have ever experienced this. But as I feel like I'm coming back to normal, I'm suddenly seeing what was wrong before. Suddenly realizing
Oh, Nelly. Yeah.
And I think I was really, really sad when I saw the photos for the first time. And not because the photos are bad, but because there's a lot of photos that I look at my face and I want to give myself a hug.
Yeah.
I feel terrible because I know that I'm the reason that the person in those photographs, as I'm always calling them, yes, in the photographies, that person is sad and tired because of me. And so all of a sudden I wasn't looking at it as me looking after me. I was looking at myself in these photos being shit, I've made that person miserable.
Yeah.
I should fix that. So it was a bit of a moment. Yeah, I'm working on it. It's a process.
Is it good? Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever been that way? Have you ever been in a real bad place and then suddenly looked back at yourself and been
yeah. I mean, when I worked in Gothenburg, that wasn't a healthy lifestyle. And doing 5 months at a time, playing 5 days a week, 2 to 4 gigs per day, and then going out with your clients and drinking afterwards until 4 a.m. and going, whoop, time to go to bed. Tomorrow I'll be sober, and then rinse, repeat. Mm-hmm. Seeing the photographs from the end of that season, Just seeing Theo looking a little worse for wear, going, okay, you should probably take care of yourself, buddy. So yeah, I've been there. And then you do the same thing again, though. So it's...
Yeah.
As Elton John put it,
cycle.
it's the circus of life. No, circle. That's what it is.
Really
But I
is
mean,
the
there's
circus of
you're
life.
always going to do. But it's. I think it's great to have the insight and the self awareness that you have now, and going, okay, I felt terrible, and I shouldn't do this again.
Yeah, and it is odd. You know, I reached out to my doctor and spoke to my therapist and got like signed up to get like a psych consult. So like actually talked to like a psychiatrist about like maybe getting like a diagnosis or whatever. That was what I was handling 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it feels funny now because I haven't been reached out to for the psych consult yet or anything. And now knowing that I feel better, but I'm going to have to walk into a room at some point with someone and remember what it felt like and put myself back in that shoe. And like, to be clear, like what I suspect the diagnosis will be isn't something that is only when I'm struggling and when I'm sad. It is just like my day-to-day life. And so like I should be able to explain it well enough, but it is odd going for help when you don't feel sick anymore.
Yeah, I can fully understand that. Going, why should I reach out to someone now when everything's fine? But yeah, as we've talked about before, it's about equipping yourself with the proper tools. And if you sort of see the thing start to leak, not just leaving the kitchen going, well, yes, that's the kitchen. They're going, okay, I can probably mend this before this turns into like a full...
Yeah. This is a really strange metaphor that I just thought of, but Ghost, my partner, has really bad dry skin on his hands. Not all the time, but like... sometimes, and it gets really bad and it cracks. It's just like eczema. And so for when it gets really bad, I'm like, okay, here's your like proper cream, and you need to do it every time you like every time you wash your hands, you should put cream on. Like every time you're done doing the dishes, you should put cream on your hands. And I thought about it the other day because I was like, oh, your hands haven't been that dry, but I had noticed that his fingers were starting to look dry, and he's like, oh yeah, no, it's not bad. And I'm like, you should be putting cream on your hands now.
Preemptively,
before it's really bad. And now I'm looking back at that being like, oh, I should look after myself now before it's really bad.
The old brain.
Yeah.
If one could also practice as what one preaches, that would be super bueno. Like,
I know.
If I was able to follow my own advice to others, I would be a lot better off.
Yeah. I think if I could communicate to others better as well, that would help. Like so
feel lacking in communicating?
Sometimes so a few months ago I had like a full breakdown on stream, which I kind of forgot about it until right now. And it was very much like this like straw that broke the camel's back. It's just been a rough year, Theo. It's been a really rough year. And so I had a full breakdown on stream where I finally just ended up like crying. And I don't cry basically ever. And so it was kind of a big deal. I'm trying not to cry. I'm in my head, my thoughts are moving so fast. But when I went back and watched the VOD, I thought that I had communicated what was happening in my head. I had not at all. Like, it was so broken what I was saying because I was trimming the words and the feelings so much that it didn't really end up communicating. And I think that I do that a lot with people, is that I'm parsing something out, thinking I've explained it in full, and really I've only like brushed the surface of it.
Yeah. What? You rewatched the VOD of your breakdown?
I did.
That must have been terrible.
I don't know why I was like drawn to it.
I can see though why. I can see the appeal in seeing like how, as morbid curiosity, and seeing how I look when I break down.
That's kind of what it was. And it's funny because like I don't watch my VODs very often, but that was one that I fully went back
but
and
like
was
when
like,
I do something extremely weird, I go, okay, what did I do? And then, oh, okay, well, that's me. Okay, good stuff.
I wanted to make sure that I had handled myself in a way that wasn't like super embarrassing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And so I wanted to go back and be like, this in my head was really, really bad.
No.
And so I wanted to go and watch and see like what that looked like from the outside. It wasn't as bad from the outside.
I had a full-on like
inside.
ugly cry moment a few months back. I brought it upon my damn self. You know, my oldest brother was in the chat, and he said, "Oh, this song, can you play that?" And it was "Seasons in the Sun." It's a good song. And then he said, "Oh, that always reminded me of our deceased sister." And my whole brain just went, as I was singing phrase by phrase, "We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun."
Oh my god!
And then I just and thankfully Fel was next to me, so I just went to the BRB screen and turned off the volume for a while, and I sat here just crying.
Yeah,
that was fine.
Very heavy.
But you never expect, because you never know when that's going to happen to you when you have like the old, and this is live.
Yeah. It is live.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I
don't know. It is fun, and I think
it's the whole honest, God honest truth about one person that like it's happening in real time. I was talking to 230 about this yesterday. That managing your own Twitch channel is like a TV channel. You're the director, script, everything, and then you're in front of the camera as well. And sometimes things go awry.
Yeah, and like usually they go awry in a relatively innocent fashion.
No, it's usually fine, and I mean this was fine as well. And that was also like the beauty of it, because I just started crying, and then I had like a few moments, and I composed myself. And I came back and went, okay, so next song, let's do something else.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Things happen.
Yeah, things happen. And I think that there is, I don't know, I feel like people have like a morbid fascination with when like streamers cry from things.
Thankfully, I wasn't, If someone was larger or had larger audience and did that sort of breakthrough, that would, I guess, be Reddit stuff going, look at this person breaking down and crying. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what the fascination is there. I know when 330 and my mods, my community, unveiled the Song for Our Love project that they did, I like cried the whole time, but it was such a hard balance of like, there were things that were genuinely making me cry, and I had this like threshold where if between songs, if I talked for too long, like if I talked for like 2.5 or 3 minutes, my brain would just start to break down, and I could feel myself getting choked up because I was gonna cry.
Yeah.
And so I had to just like get into the next song. But there was also like people in the chat that were like, it's okay, just cry. But I can't, like, I couldn't, I don't know. Like I was crying and not crying at the same time.
It also feels super weird to be crying in your room with a camera on your face.
Yeah.
It is the least, and so, you never feel the urge to cry so little as when you're being filmed.
Yeah. And so like I was crying, but then I was like not crying as much as some people wanted me to, or like wanted to cry more, but I couldn't cry more. I don't know. It was a really weird.
And Eddie came in with some chopped onions and going, no.
Yeah. It's just a wild experience. Yeah. That's like, my body is not prepared for that. No one's body is prepared for that. Someone to come in and say like, hey, by the way, I've just got all of these people from around the world to cover 20 of your songs that you've written over the span of your lifetime. How? What? My brain does not process things fast enough to acknowledge how amazing that is.
I'm gonna give him a listen and not be affected by it.
Yeah.
I'm so psyched about your upcoming releases.
Me too.
I'm just segueing back to that because I'm super not invested, but I'm rooting for you.
Yeah. I'm invested. Okay. Do you want to? Can we? I have a confession. I am terrified
You are,
of these releases. And the reason why is because the last few releases that I've done, really over the past couple of years, I have distanced myself from them on an emotional level. Because I like the music that I write and I believe in it. And so it's very easy for me to not live up to some sort of random expectation in my brain.
Yeah.
You know, and so like to the point where, you know, Ghost will be like, he said before, like, I hate release days because he knows that I'm like actively trying not to think about it, or that like I don't want to be upset by it. And so when I was working with the label and they were remixing my songs, it was still my song, but like it was easier for me to be like, oh, I'm going to have a bit of like an emotional detachment from this.
Of course.
So if it does well, great. And if it doesn't do well, I'm protected from that. But this time, I am putting all my eggs in this fucking basket and we are throwing it off a cliff and we're going to see what happens. Because
it's going to turn into a dragon and fly away. I'm telling you this much.
I hope so. I mean, that'd be magical.
Because your songs are super duper good.
Thank you.
I
think so too. I feel like I don't know. This is the most confident I've ever felt about something I've done by myself. Incredible. Like, it's weird.
I think savor the moment and rejoice and and just appreciate that you're feeling all these things about the things that you created. You've made this, all of this. It's you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have a label. You don't have people. You have people standing behind you rooting for you, but not in the same way that like Ariana Grande has.
Yeah.
And it's not her songs. It's just she sings something someone's written. And it's made for a certain audience. This is you finding your own audience and asking your audience to pay upfront for your money, for your music. That's incredible.
Which is wild.
And it's good. And that's why I'm confident, because it's good music. It's a good person singing the songs. And the whole thing is just good. Which makes it easy to root for. It's just not one of those, well, shoot, kiddo, I'm sure you're gonna get it. Going, how, why?
Yeah.
We've been rewatching The Office again. Have you've watched The Office?
Yes.
Yes. When Michael makes his own, I'm sorry for spoilers, but when Michael makes his own company, and Pam says, when she realizes that they're in trouble, and she goes, if a kid drives a car into another car or a tree, you don't blame the kid. You blame the person who put the kid in the car.
Yeah.
And she's the one who got into the car with the kid, going, this'll probably be fun. And this is the opposite of that.
Yeah.
This is not you just going, I'm going to be a musician, and I'm going to... You're a wizard, Harry.
Trying my best.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about something else?
Yes.
Yes.
Desperately.
So I went to band practice yesterday.
How was that?
I don't think they ever listened to my podcast. It was a moment.
Oh, yeah? We won't tell them about the podcast.
We were supposed to rehearse like a dress rehearsal on stage with the amps and stuff.
Yeah.
But there had been other people there, so we weren't allowed to be on stage or like practice with our instruments plugged in. Would you take a guess at how long it took from that I arrived to the place until we played the first song? How many minutes would you think is an appropriate amount of time before you start? If you have, say, you have 150 minutes to use this particular Sunday to play your songs. And
it's like a rehearsal, but you don't have to set up gear because you can't have gear.
Yeah, it's a banjo, a guitar, a bass, and an accordion. No microphones.
I would say like you should be up and playing within 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, it took 30 minutes before we played the first song. And I am so used to sitting here by myself. Just making things when I want, and now relearning that there are other people I have to depend on, and going, can you tune your goddamn instrument instead of doing whatever you're doing?
Yeah.
But after that, it was fun.
Yeah.
We
That's
have a
good.
gig
I mean,
in 2 weeks, so it's going to be fun and do a
nice.
whole.
I've not played with a band in a very, very long time.
I also realized how much more proficient I am as a musician. Who would have guessed if you spent 18 months in isolation and just played your guitar and sang for 3 hours every day that you become out a better musician? This is wild.
I know.
I was trying to play like I did before and going, what the hell did I play? I wasn't doing like patterns or like some songs. It's just why did I play that? Also, I really changed my preference in keys. In what range I'm singing. It's like, can you sing the song in D? I play this song in B. Those two not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was fun.
I am so curious for when I get out to play songs again.
Yeah, and seeing how people react to music.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about it a lot for the past little while, and it's just been one of those like back burner things that's like, I know I need to look at this. Okay, maybe that's the thing. I don't need to look at it.
Yeah.
But I feel like I should look into it, and I should be thinking about playing
like a tour
live
thing or just playing gigs?
No, I just want to play a gig.
Yeah.
But
aren't there any open mics you can go to?
Not really. I was just thinking about I can't open
just bringing your guitar
window.
and just going, hello, my name is Banana Hattie.
So that's kind of the optimal situation, is that like what I don't want is an Alanna Matty show. I don't want to sell tickets or be responsible for bringing people out.
Yeah.
I don't want that right now. I don't have the brain for that.
You just want to sneak up on stage and go, hello, I want to play a few songs and
yeah,
watch.
exactly. Or play at a brewery in a Sunday afternoon when they just like want to have live music around, and like that's what I would like to do, but it's hard to say like what is open, and I don't have gear. Like I don't have I don't have a PA system or anything, so it's like an added step of difficulty.
Yeah, of course.
Like I could show up to somewhere with my guitar and that's it. I have a mic, but I don't have a speaker. I have an amp, but it's somewhere. But yeah, it would be a whole situation. But I'd like to be able to book a gig.
Is to find an open mic in Toronto.
I don't know that they exist yet because of COVID.
There's sure to be somewhere there's an outdoor open mic where people show up in like overcoats, only overcoat. No.
I think it's more the issue of the mic as opposed to the being inside. I think people don't want to share a microphone.
Bring your own microphone, or you make the event. Bring your own microphone.
Bring your own open mic.
Yes, and then you do it, and you go out and play music and interact with people. I should also be. There's an open mic tomorrow that I might not go to because I have dinner at my mom's tomorrow. That's my excuse. Right. But I'm looking forward to playing some songs. I haven't played Vincent yet, which I'm really looking forward to. I've never played that in front of an actual a human listener. That sounds so weird. How do we phrase that? I haven't looked anyone in the eye as I'm singing Vincent. Okay. I haven't properly connected with another person except myself through a camera. That I'm very looking forward to. There's a ton of songs I didn't play before Twitch.
There's so many songs I didn't play before Twitch. Like most songs I didn't play before Twitch. Yeah. Sorry, I need to do some curtain management. One moment, please.
Manage those curtains.
Hello. Sorry.
What are your curtains made of?
Okay.
It sounded like you were changing 6 different types of chains.
There's a corner segment of my curtains. So my windows are on 2 walls.
Yeah.
And so instead of having 2 curtain bars.
Yeah.
Rods?
Yeah.
I have a track that goes all the way around. Oh. And so there's a corner piece. and the curtain doesn't like the corner piece.
Ah, I see.
So I have to really like actively convince it to go.
Cool. Some real
Otherwise, it doesn't
encouragement.
want to. Yes, yeah, that's what it requires. Anyways, hello, I have returned.
You have returned.
Which is good. I am going to make a marker of
Make a
where
marker.
I think I got up to fix the curtains. Okay, I'm back.
Mark,
Sorry,
mark.
we were saying something. Open mic. You were giving me homework.
Yeah. I told you to go and find an open mic and go play songs.
Okay.
Meet your fellow man.
Oh yeah, I was saying that most of the songs that I've
Yeah.
played on stream, I haven't played for people live. Because usually when I play live, I'm playing only originals.
Yeah.
Other than like when I had a residency, then I would play covers. But usually it's only original music. So
I'm looking forward to playing so many. Like, there's so many good songs, and I want to just make sing along and drink beer and have a
Yeah.
good time and just enjoy themselves. And just have a night of revelry.
playing Vincent, they're gonna cry.
Well, have I told you about my not my first ever gig, but my second gig at a pub? Because my first gig was Chaos, the
I'm
man who
gonna say
heckled
no.
me and all that jazz.
Yes.
So the second gig, I thought, okay, well now I'm a seasoned veteran. I'm gonna prepare. Yeah,
Okay.
boy's gonna make a set list. Yeah, boy's gonna write down the songs in order and then play the songs. And then it was like 8 p.m. and I was playing, and I had made a set list, and I thought people are eating dinner, so I'll play some nice, quiet, chill music. And then after 4 songs, a very husky and large gentleman stands up and screams, "Spela något glatt," which in English means play something happy or chirpy or do something. And this was my second gig ever, and I went, "There's whiskey in it," and I played Whiskey in a Jar, and it was really weird.
Yeah.
But I'd really, really put in the time, and I thought about the set list and like how the songs were gonna fall in the theme and stuff. And then this dude just went up. And that is to this day what my friends all scream when I'm playing gigs. Spela något glatt. Or play country is also a classic. There was an elder gentleman sitting at the bar at one of my regular
Yeah.
pubs where I played, and he was between every song screaming, "Play country!" And I didn't. And then I played Country Roads, and he fell asleep.
Great.
And then he woke up,
That's exactly the reaction you want.
and then he woke up, and then he screamed, "Play country!" And that is how I learned to be a musician in front of people. People throwing things at me, like
Yeah.
balled up receipts and stuff.
Horrible.
Yeah. So when people are mean in chat, it's just oh, you hurt my feelings. I've heard a lot worse in a lot less time than.
Yeah, I bet. I've told you about the gig that Kel and I played for the old people. That was
Yeah.
a very similar experience to them being like, play something happy. It was like, we played a whole bunch of like slow songs, and they're like, people are falling asleep. Like, well, you're old.
Did I tell you about the time a guy pulled a gun on me?
No.
Where he
No?
went, "Play Metallica." I went, I'm sorry, sir, I don't have any Metallica. And he went, "I'm sure you do have Metallica." I am certain I do not. And then he pulled up his sweater, and he had a gun in his waistband. And I went, "Oh, you said Metallica." "Yeah, of course, I know that one." And then I played Nothing Else Matters. I was scared shitless. This might have been a prop gun or anything, but if someone even threatens you with a prop gun, that person is somewhat deranged.
You're lying to me right now. That is
No.
not a real thing.
Yes, 100% truth. It was a night. Oh, what a night! It's been fun
That's
playing music.
wild. I don't know what I would do. I don't think I can play any Metallica. I would just die.
I couldn't either. I knew like the bare bones chords of like Nothing Else Matters, and that's what I played. I think I played it in a backbeat. That's why I also been playing it on like a backbeat reggae song on stream, because that's what I
Yeah.
did when he asked me. It was wild. I was scared.
That's terrifying.
Now there's been fist fight. There's been a lot of. Did I tell you about? No, never mind. We'll save this story for another day. We'll put in this, and I'll tell you about the fist fight that broke out.
No, you can't. You can't just drop that. You can't just drop that and run away. You gotta tell the story. We
had a few incidents on the boat where I worked, since people were drinking alcohol and people were getting a bit like rowdy. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting at the head of the boat, playing a song. And there were two guys sitting next to us. There were like long table, rectangular boats. on the long sides of the boat are tables, and I'm at one of the short ends, at the head of the boat.
Yeah.
And there's two guys talking real loud to each other, and I thought, okay, after this song, I'm going to have to ask them to quiet down because they're like disturbing the other guests. And then they start throwing punches. Like, not slapping, not like pushing, just full swing to the face fist. So I think I don't know how I put down my guitar. I just remember because I was like a part owner of this and like responsible for what was happening.
Yeah.
I just took one head in one hand, the other in the other hand, and just held them, and they were swinging towards me instead. Thankfully, they were quite short and not that strong, so I could just hold them off. Then we had to moor and let those fine gentlemen walk off. But then I had to start playing water. Then I had to play a song after that.
Yeah.
Filled with adrenaline. My hands were shaking as I played All You Need Is Love. Because I remember one side of the boat was, they booked like 20 seats together, and it was a 30-year-old birthday party.
Okay.
And the rest was like just straight people. Like, there was this group of senior citizens who were out having a picnic, enjoying the night.
Cute.
And then having the fist fights. That was fun.
That's wild. That's crazy. I'm still processing that someone threatened you with a weapon.
Well, yeah.
To play Metallica. Like, that, you're so casual about it. That's like horrifying to me.
It's
wild.
The comeuppance of a young troubadour. Yeah.
Maybe I don't want to play live.
Perhaps you don't want to play those pubs live.
That's what I've learned from this
Perhaps you can pick and choose where you want to play now. More.
Yeah.
And actually do a gig you want to play instead of going.
Yeah, that's
that was a good. I wouldn't say that the gun thing was a good training experience, but like just having.
Yeah. I think when I think about playing live, one of the things that I've done that is stopping me from playing live is that I'm like overcomplicating it, because I know how to loop now. And so in my head, I'm like, okay, should I be trying to set up with a whole thing? Like, should I be bringing my laptop and my interface and the push 2 controller? Yeah, well, I mean, this would be for like a full gig. Like, if I was going to play like a bar or a brewery or something and like play for a number of hours and be able to say like, okay, I'm going to do this. Or, am I buying a PA system, or am I trying to get like a keyboard? Because like my keyboard, I cannot take it to gigs with me. It is locked in. So it's like there's a number of expenses, and I think that's kind of what's stopping me, is that now that I have all of these other skills and all this other knowledge, something about I want to bring the package. It feels weird to just be the girl with the acoustic guitar again, like to go back to that being the MO. Part of me thinks like maybe I want to pick up a hardware looper,
like one of those Boss Rs, whatever they're called.
I wouldn't want to get the big one, so I bought the big one. That's what I used to have, and I sent it to Kevin.
The one you sent to Kevin,
yeah. And they're like, if you ever need it back, just like ask for it back. I don't want it back. Kevin fucking owns that thing. It's amazing. He does far better on it than I did. But I think like I would want something small, like a Ditto or like an RC30, like a really little loop pedal, so that I could just at least do something that was like slightly more interesting
Adding more texture and stuff. Yeah.
than just playing the guitar. I don't know. So I think that stops me, is that like I know that I could pack up my guitar, go play a gig. I mean, hypothetically, if I could find one. But I don't want to just be like, I want to put my best face forward now.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I don't know if that's silly.
Did Clive? Yeah.
He's under the desk now.
He's under the desk,
which means
now.
that inevitably I'm going to kick him. He likes to lay down directly where my feet go. I sit cross-legged on my chair usually. Or he's going to push himself out under my foot. I have my foot resting on I have like a garbage can under my desk, and I was resting on the garbage can, and he just had to like push his way underneath my
That's
leg.
how you do. Of
Now
course.
he's over here. But he likes whenever my legs are not on the floor, he will lay directly where my legs would go if my legs were not on the chair. And so then I inevitably take my legs off the chair, and there's a dog there.
Yeah. He really
forget.
likes that mirror, doesn't he? I think I've seen a lot of photos of young Master Clive
Yes.
hanging out by there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's cold. I think it's very warm in here right now because it's greenhouse effect happening. But anyways.
But
gigs.
if you were to do a show with like just acoustic Alanna, just playing your new songs like Little Dreamer and stuff like that with just a guitar, that would be bueno. Or not?
Yeah, I think it would be nice. I think there's nothing. That's the thing. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just in this. I'm paralyzed by
The possibilities
you know, and that like I want to be doing X, Y, Z, which is so against who I am as a person. Like I'm always that person that's like, people are like, oh, I want to start streaming. I'm like, just stream. You don't need all the gear. You don't need all this. Just do it. And then here I am being like, I want to play a gig unless I can be like looping and doing everything properly.
I want to play a gig where I can take Autopilot's streaming room to the stage.
Like, what if we played a gig, but it was actually just our Twitch stream?
Yeah?
They just pull a projector screen down and hook up speakers. And it's just us at home.
So good. And you can just sit here,
Hell
no
yeah.
guns,
No guns.
no weapons,
Immediate benefit.
proper bouncers.
It's just Fell and Clive.
Yeah. But it's so much fun playing live gigs and meeting people, and especially that's why I also love Twitch, because of the banter.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I played live gigs, Swedes aren't usually that keen on bantering with the musician. There isn't really that back and forth naturally in Sweden.
Yeah.
But when British people are in the pub, it becomes a lot more fun, because then you can start doing running gags and stuff. And that is Twitch chat, like the banter and having people have input into what you're doing instead of just playing the same old songs.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God! When I started, I realized, I was talking to a friend the other day why I started memorizing songs. It's because when I went to pubs when I was 18 years old, when I was drinking age in Sweden, the troubadours who were playing with their binders, just page 1, playing that song through. Page 2, playing that song, flip the page. There's no interaction between him and her or the audience.
Yeah.
We're just sitting there going, come on, do something. We're here. And that's when I thought, oh, and then I saw some people there who were like fantastic, knew all their songs by heart, great storytellers, and they could improvise. And I guess that left a mark in me. And that's why I really, it's fun.
Yeah.
And just meeting...
I think I just need to do it and remember that it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I think that's the
it's
kicker.
sort of like, perhaps like jogging or running or exercising. Like, oh, if I need to go to the gym, oh, no, then I need to buy the clothes, I need to buy the water bottle, and I need to...
Yeah.
Instead of going, okay, I'll go there and see what happens.
Yeah.
Thusly, homework, find an open mic, bring guitar, conquer the world. Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to write it. You know what? I'm going to make it real. I'm going to write it on my task lists for the week.
Oh, the task list?
Find gig. I think
Find
what I
open
well
mic.
what I think what I need to do is like I'm going to see if open mics are a thing. I don't know if they are yet. And then if they're not, I think I just need to put together like an EPK, like a press kit, but for playing gigs.
Yes.
And it's just like a PDF that I can email people that has like embedded songs on it.
Yes.
But that's,
That's
a thing that has to be
Alanna.
done. But I have no contracts anymore.
Yes,
so
you can do all
I
the
can
things.
do it. Yes.
Are you going to make your lyrical video? Or is it called a lyrical video or a lyrics video?
It's called a lyric. It's a lyric video.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's not, I can't actually release it for a while.
Oh.
Because so I've had to pull everything down off Bandcamp.
Yeah.
I had to pull everything down off of
You
Bandcamp
got to
in order
pull
to
it.
prepare for the releases that are coming up.
The releases of your
in
music?
a month or so. Yeah. Just dropped my pen. So I had to pull everything down.
Yeah.
And like, it's very strange now because I'm used to being able to be like, okay, I have this thing. I'm going to release it. Even like music, videos, whatever.
Yeah.
And being able to be like, I'm just going to release it. And then now to have to be like, nope, I made this months ago. I have to hold it and clutch it to my chest before I can release it out into the world. So it's a weird thing.
I can imagine.
I want my pen back. Yep.
This is the best podcast content.
Yeah.
Person leaning away from microphone, talking in inaudible levels from inflatable spinning arms.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to remember that gigs are fun.
They are a lot of fun, and they are.
Yeah.
You are doing gigs now, though. They're just virtual.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, and I think it has been interesting watching. I think we might have touched on this a couple weeks ago. Just watching the people who are leaving Twitch, or haven't been around. And Ghost actually brought it up to me last week that he, bless his freaking heart, records everyone that raids us.
Oh wow!
He has a spreadsheet.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, in order so that we can return the favor. So when it comes time for us to raid, he'll
like a
look
Godfather
through.
Thing. So we can one day return the favor. Yeah.
Yeah, he just so he can look through and
that's wonderful.
Like, yeah, which is really really great. But he realized the other day, he's like, these people are never on anymore.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who it was that he specifically mentioned, but there was like a good number of people. And as soon as he mentioned the names, I was like, oh yeah, no, true. They haven't been around in a long time. I think as the world has reopened, some people have stayed and some people have,
I guess
have
people
moved
just
along.
get tired as well of the grind and doing the same thing as we talked about last week.
Yeah.
With when you're
if
feeling...
you could, if you could offer one piece of advice, maybe I'll say two pieces of advice for someone who's just getting started streaming, what would those two pieces of advice be?
Be consequent, or keep doing. Yeah, consistent is the thing. Set out a few days to do it. Make it a labor of love. Know that this is for the future. You will not get viral. You will not get money immediately. You're not in this for this. If you want to connect with people, this is a thing to do. I think that would be my number one. Number two would be to watch the Alanna Matty tutorial on how to fix your streamers audio for realsies, and just getting good audio, and then just realizing that this is for a long run. If you want it to be for a long run, I mean, there's years and years to come on Twitch where you can do things. Don't rush.
Yeah.
Network, meet people who you enjoy talking to, and don't try to network with people just because the sake of network, or network with everyone, but befriend people you actually enjoy their company.
Yes, be nice to everyone.
Yeah,
but then make friends with people that you want to make friends with.
There's a new dude. No, but his name is Phil Skinner Music. He's Australian. He showed up in my chat.
I don't know who he is.
I don't know. Yeah, he did his first stream on Thursday. Super talented dude. Super nice, polite, great musician. But he showed up in my chat, and he didn't even. He was Phil's gonna music, and are you a streamer? I went, no, not yet. I'm just trying to figure this out. I went, welcome to the platform. Oh my god, you're not even trying to self promote. Wow.
Yeah.
So on Thursday, I set my clock so I could go up and watch his first stream, and he was super duper talented.
Good for you.
And
yeah,
I just realized how much I really prefer people who are nice.
Yeah.
Now he's a good musician to boot as well, but like just having that connection with someone and going, okay, they're actually a person.
Yeah,
That's all you need to do. Just be nice
I
to
think I
people
agree
and
with
connect.
that. I think it comes down. I think my biggest advice to everyone would
Be
be
more
to
kind.
be as genuine as you can in everything that you do. Not just your stream, but in your interactions with other people.
Yeah.
You know, like we see you when you're farming for raid targets. We see you. We know because you come in, you've said hello and like nothing else. And then you've left within 5 minutes, and then your go live notification happens. We see you. That is not networking. It's not networking. I'm sorry. It's not. Like, it's one thing where, like, I'll hang out in people's streams while I'm setting up.
Yeah.
But only in the people's streams that I want to be hanging out in anyway.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm not necessarily hanging out in people's streams that are well populated in order to, you know, try and trick them into raiding me.
I'm
Like
a streamer too, but I need to go and set up my own stream now. See you in a bit.
yeah, exactly. Like it's like
That is
like
if
Friday,
you're wondering how my inner voice is when you write those messages, that is the inner voice.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's
well, because Friday I always spend my afternoon in Cam stream with Camnesiac, who is amazing, and I love him dearly. And it's been really cool actually watching him grow. I don't know if he listens to the podcast. Cam, it's been really cool watching you grow every week because he only streams 1 day a week. It's only Friday, but he just does what he wants to do. He did a VR stream. He did Animal Crossing the other day. He streams music. Like he's a great musician, but our streams just happen to overlap. So I'll be hanging out in his stream and I will be that guy who's like, sorry, I do have to go set up because I start soon. But I've been there for 3 hours. Like,
and he's your friend, and he knows you,
and he's my friend, and it's genuine, right? So like, you can create genuine friendships and genuine relationships with people who will then genuinely want to support you, and help you, and then that's the most important thing to do. And I think that translates to content, right? Like, if you. I struggled with this, absolutely struggled with this when I started. Something I still have to catch myself on now is like, you know, not letting the compare beast tell you that you should be doing things differently just because someone else is doing this and they're successful. Yeah. Like, you have to do what makes you happy and what brings you joy and what brings you energy, what fills your cup. Yeah. Otherwise, it's not going to work and it's not going to be sustainable.
Spoonless. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. I think you can't start and expect. My second tip, one is be genuine. My second tip is the same as yours. You can't start and expect success.
Yeah. Some people,
it's not going to happen.
Will have enormous good fortune and luck and become an overnight sensation.
Yeah.
But that is a 1 in a million. For most of us,
and even the people who. Yeah.
But even the people, even the people who get the overnight success still struggle and go.
Yes.
Did I not deserve this? Am I?
Yeah. They're still struggling and they're still dealing with it. Like, it goes back to what I talked about at the beginning of the podcast, that like the people that I was looking at as being inspirational to me, or being kind of the reason I didn't want to launch the Indiegogo campaign, because I could see these people just doing it on their own. Yeah. And then to have them, without knowing, like, they didn't know that they were the people that I was looking at, but have them turn around and support me is like incredible. Like, that's amazing to me.
I just want to add on something to that, what you said about networking, and don't do what I do, because I try to avoid that to a fault, where I won't say hi in people's streams because I don't want them to think I'm cloud fishing or saying, can I get a so sometimes I'll hang out in people's streams. I won't even say hi because I'm scared of, like, oh, he's here. He's there. But I was in Liv Harris's stream the other night, when she did her first, when she was back from being sick. And I said hi, and she was super happy to see me. And I was like my I built this wall around me where I went, oh, I shouldn't say hi to people because and she went, hey Theo, you're here. I'm so happy to see you. And I went, what? Liv Harris? What? So don't do what I did. Say hi to people.
Say hi to people.
That you want to say hi to.
Yeah. Say hi to people. Just
be
don't
genuine.
make it...
Say hi to people who you want to say hi to.
Yes. Be genuine.
Yes.
Be genuine. Don't make it about growth. Don't make it about whatever. Make it about being friends and learning too. Like I hang out on people's streams to like see what they're up to.
Yeah. Like
you know, and be like, oh, whoa, you're doing this. That's really freaking cool. Good for you. Or like, oh, I wonder how they've got that effect on their guitar. Or like, this is how this person's looping. Like, go and learn and grow and
I'm so glad I pursued my late night idea of banning words. We've been doing that all week and even today, and my brain is now completely. I love it so much. And I was talking to Theodor yesterday, and we were talking about improv, and I was about to join an improv group before COVID. I really wanted to do improv, and then COVID hit, and then no improv. So that's why I guess that's why the wheel came about. So I could like try and make shit up at the spot. It's fun. Which brings me to a question I wanted to ask you, also about content, because you have an enormous amount of output. You do a lot of things. Do you have any input?
About output?
No, input in general. How you, ideas, people, how do you keep yourself nurtured for creativity's sake, and just because being in your bubble on Twitch can be a bubble, an echo chamber where you just keep doing the same thing, and if you don't have any input from the outside.
That's a very good question. I think personally, I try to follow or surround myself with people that challenge me, if that makes sense. Yeah. So like there are people that, and it cycles, but that who really inspire me a lot. And so I will go and spend time in their streams. Okay, but I don't say hi either. Yeah. But like it's that, or I've been listening to like curated Spotify playlists that are within genres that I like. Yeah. And doing that and just kind of like doing other things and having that on in the background has been like kind of an inspirational thing to be like, oh, I want to try and write a song that's like this, or like I could do this, or like, oh, this is way out of my wheelhouse, or whatever the reaction may be. But I think I'm learning how to take care of myself in terms of output. Because and in terms of guilt and shame is a big thing for me, is like, oh, I'm not doing enough, or oh, this person's doing this much and this thing, and you know, there's things like we talked about the Song for Our Love stream. I haven't properly posted about that. Yeah. And it happened like months ago because I did this thing where it was like, I want to do this properly. I want people to understand how impactful this was to me. And I don't know how to put that in a social post. I don't understand how to do that yet.
You can easily fit into 180 characters.
Yeah. OMFG.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. This happened. I think I tweeted about it. I don't think I posted on Instagram about it because I don't know. I just had ideas, and then I got paralyzed, and I was burnt out, and I was tired. But you know, it's stuff like that where then I make myself feel bad that I haven't done X, Y, Z yet. You know. So, yeah, I don't know. Does that kind of answer your question?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, but it also because I was thinking, because I realized the other day that I'm lacking in input. I have a lot of output. I have 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, where I'm back and forthing with people. And then I don't have much after that. I don't have any colleagues I hang out with. I mean, because I was talking to Fel, they have so many things happening at their office, and they have a really good like camaraderie among their colleagues, and they have afterworks where they go out drinking, and they have game nights.
Yeah.
And as we streamers are sort of like a deserted island or desert island, where we exist islands in the stream, and then it's a bit back and forth, but there's like no real hangout. There's no real.
That's true.
I guess there are.
True.
I guess I should. What I'm trying to say is that I should probably subject myself to like a once a week coffee session with someone and just talk.
Are we not hanging out? I'm actively drinking coffee.
Yeah. I mean,
we've
just these things really inspire me as well. When I get to talking with you. Yeah.
Yeah. We've made this input and output.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I mean? Because we're not just hanging out. We're still making content.
Something. Yeah. There's.
Yeah. It's a double.
There's something to be said
whammy.
about that as well. But we also chat off pod, which is important.
Yes. Yeah, we do. And I've played games with people. We've played games. We could definitely play games more often.
Oh yes.
Like off pod, off stream, and I find that that's really fun. Kendra Lanius and I have played games quite a number of times, and hilariously, the last time we played games, we just like talked. We weren't even like paying attention to what the game was anymore, and we just like we were still playing, but we were talking the whole time. And then I was like, okay, I should probably go to bed. And then we talked for another 2 hours, and I like got up from my desk because I had her on Discord on my phone, and went and like rearranged my bookshelf while we were talking because I had to like do something else with my hands. But it was just such a nice time of just chatting and you know, passing wisdom and stuff. And
because there's a lot of those things that happens in those conversations, like organic talking.
Yeah.
Just not chatting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's good.
There were for a time like greenhouses for creators here in town. Like where they would have a hangout for social media creators. But that also feels like not the spot for me. I'm not that trendy, and I don't want to hang out with people who are trying to make ads on Instagram and TikTok, trying to be sponsored. That's not like the input I need. I don't know where to find my people. The library, perhaps.
I think you just have to. I mean, I think if I've learned anything from Twitch and running the Cozy Collab corner is that like a lot of people feel the same way. A lot of people want to be friends with you, with other people. Yeah. But they're waiting for someone to reach out to them. For sure. And then they want to hang out, you know.
Well, so look at this.
It's not so bad. Yeah. You know. It's I don't know. It's weird, but I do see what you mean. I also just get super exhausted by social things. Part of my burnout was being wildly burnt out on social plans and stuff. So it's I don't get as much input from that as I do from like listening to music and being alone. Yeah.
There's a game I love that's coming out, a new patch. I'm going to be streaming that a lot, I hope. And that's my ambition and hope is going to be playing Stone Shard a lot. That has been my my go-to game where I listen to Spotify Weekly, Discover Weekly, and my like mix. And just killing henchmen with swords.
Nice.
It's the same game I played when I listened to you and Danny for the first time in this very podcast.
Wow. That was a good podcast. I need to wrap this up.
Yes.
Because it is so hot in here. I am dying. I keep yawning because there's just no oxygen in this room.
It's the opposite of last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last week was burrito and this week is not. It's the 8th of November and I'm freaking hot.
It's 3 degrees Celsius outside in Sweden.
It is. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you,
what the temperature is here. It is 16 degrees outside. That's why it's so hot in here.
See?
I should go outside.
That's incredibly
16
warm.
degrees Celsius. Yeah, it's very warm.
Wow.
All right. This was lovely.
And with that,
And with that, I'm going to go
Friends.
sweat somewhere else.
There is a link in our link tree to the Indiegogo. You should go there. Click that link. Slap that
And
wallet.
thank you to all of you that have already contributed.
Yes.
You guys are amazing, and it's all very surreal to me. And I know at some point I'm going to have a full-on breakdown about it when it all sinks in. But
you are 100%
now.
worth it. It's
Thanks,
going to go
Theo.
well. Follow Alanna Matty on the social media.
Follow Theodor Elfving on all the social medias. And if you would like to go to our link tree, it's linktr.ee/mostly finished. That's linktr.ee/mostly finished. And all of our links to
There
follow
are all
us
links.
in all of the places. Go comment on Theo's YouTube videos.
Yes. Did I say that people did that last time?
No, that's
I got
amazing.
a lot of new comments. I'm very happy about it.
Oh, that makes me really happy. Keep it up,
And not
pals. Keep it up.
So super, super duper happy.
There you go. Perfect. Make street elephants a horse thing.
Make sure you don't. Until next time.
Until next time. Bye.